In Anthony Joshua break his public silence for the first time since the crash. In a post that was shared to Instagram, the world heavyweight champion released an image alongside what appears to be perhaps the parents of Gami and Ayodele, offering a quiet but powerful tribute to two men.
That people came out to show their respects, but they also came out to support Anthony Joshua, because what must he be going through right now? You know?
Anthony Joshua breaks down in tears at Cena and Latz's funeral. After being discharged from a Lagos hospital, where he was treated following the tragic crash that claimed the lives of his dear friends Cena Gami and Lateef Latz Ayodele, Aj flew back to the UK and attended their funeral at the London Central Mosque. In that heartbreaking moment, the normally stoic champion allowed his grief to show, revealing just how deeply these losses have affected him. UK for the funerals of Cena Gami and Lateef Latz Ayodele, Aj shared his first social media update. He posted photos on Instagram sitting with family members of the victims, captioning the image simply, "My brother's keeper," a heartfelt tribute to the two men he lost. Spencer Fearon's moment with Anthony Joshua paints the raw, emotional weight AJ carried at the funeral. Even without words, AJ's presence and that brief embrace with Fearon showed just how heavy his heart was. In a setting meant for mourning and reflection at London Central Mosque, AJ wasn't the champion in the ring, he was a friend grieving brothers he deeply loved.
I mean, I was walking out, because I wasn't going to go say anything to him, but I was walking out, then I got tapped on the shoulder, I turned around, it was Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? And we had a brief chat and a little embrace and that. And then I left, but it was, you know, funerals are never good, but...
Anthony Joshua's first post since the tragic loss captured the boxer's heartbreak in the simplest, most honest way. Sitting beside family members of Cena Gami and Lateef Latz Ayodele, Ajay's caption, "My brother's keeper," wasn't about boxing, it was a vow to never forget the two men who were like family to him. His grief was clear and deeply human.
And this is Anthony Joshua's first post since the tragic accident, okay? This came from his social media, and of course, if you guys didn't see it in the preview of the video, it was simple but strong and powerful. And
his reflection on Aj cut straight to the heart of this tragedy. Seeing two of Anthony Joshua's closest friends, men he trusted with his training and life, taken so suddenly has left the heavyweight visibly shaken. Aj wasn't just mourning colleagues, he was grieving brothers whose deaths will forever weigh on him and their grieving families.
Talk about these two young men that lost their lives and their families, how it's affected their families. So you want to concentrate on AJ, how's it going to affect AJ, instead of concentrating on how's it affected the people that have lost their children.
These words echo the kind of haunting grief Aj is facing. When tragedy strikes those closest to you, questions like why them come without warning. For Anthony Joshua, a champion trained for battle but never for loss of this magnitude, this moment underscores a painful reality. Life outside the ring is unpredictable, and grief doesn't respect legacy or strength.
You look at it's always the people that are the best, or, you know what I mean, that end up going first. You know, and you examine like, well, why wasn't it me, or why did this have to happen?
Anthony Joshua's heartfelt words after the funeral reflect the emotional toll of this tragedy. Beyond the boxing titles and fame, Aj was forced to confront a deeper truth. Life's real value is in the people beside you. Losing Cena and Latz so suddenly has clearly reshaped his perspective, reminding everyone that moments, memories, and loyalty matter more than any ring victory.
Just trying to find happiness within yourself. True blessing is actually making into this earth. Everyone dies some stage, you know? So I think across the board, one has to be happy inside. No matter about the material possession one owns, how that's a car and the driving. Very, very careful of other people we choose to hang around with and associate them, because you soon become like the people who spend perseverance hell.
The sheep come to conjure round of lions. She receive with an eye. So pick your friends and your circle wisely. My sister kids is. They start to flourish and grow, and blossom. Rather than perish, made away, and die. So look at the environment, it's the same thing.
Jarrell Miller's raw reaction shows the shockwaves this tragedy sent through the boxing community. Even someone not on the best terms with Aj couldn't help but feel deep sympathy, because no athlete, no matter how tough, is prepared for the emotional devastation of losing brothers in a moment like this. Miller's words echo what fans everywhere have felt. This wasn't a fight. This wasn't a headline. It was a life-shaking loss. Seeing someone like Aj, who has faced the biggest battles in the ring, confronted with this kind of pain, makes everyone realize that real heartbreak is beyond competition. It's human.
You don't know what other people are going through. And even though AJ,
Johnny Nelson's words reminded fans that beyond the fame and the sport, Ajay's friends were real people with real families. Losing someone so close in a heartbeat changes everything. This tragedy has made everyone, including Aj, stop and reflect on life, how precious it is, and how pain and loss are far deeper than any fight in a ring.
Nigeria, it's just sad. It just makes you realise how valuable life is, and how things can change in a heartbeat. So when we talk about fights and we talk about beefs and these things are just nothing when it comes to real life and losing your life. So it was a sad thing to hear, a sad thing to see. God knows how it'll affect those that saw it mentally, emotionally. But you've got to think about these two men were somebody's child, someone's brother, and that's what you've got to think about, those people that have lost their lives.
Pain Game's observation highlights just how brutal the crash was. Aj may be a warrior in the ring, but surviving a violent collision that instantly killed two of his closest allies shakes even the toughest fighters to their core. The mental and emotional recovery from something like this will be as difficult as any physical injury.
Such a severe car accident there. Like, alright, he's lucky enough to still be alive, but fuck me, his body must be going through a lot right there. This is not a man who winces in pain easily, right? He gets punched for a living. And obviously, like, you're supposed to take people out of car accidents like that with great care, because you don't want to...
Showbiz The Adult's breakdown sheds light on the legal aftermath of this heartbreaking tragedy. Nigerian authorities have charged the driver involved with dangerous driving after the Lexus SUV carrying Aj and his two close friends collided with a stationary truck. While the emotional focus remains on Anthony Joshua's grief and the loss of Sina Gami and Latif Lats Ayodele, both beloved members of his team, the reality of legal consequences looms. In Nigeria, reckless driving that leads to death can carry serious prison time, reflecting how devastating and avoidable many road tragedies can be. This reminder of accountability stands amid widespread sorrow and prayer for the deceased.
The real image of both of them together. Now, Nigerian police sources has indicated that Adeniyi will be facing some serious felony charges for reckless driving. And I know a lot of you guys are curious, such as I, on, what would be the punishment or the penalty for reckless driving in Nigeria. So I looked it up. And if you are a reckless driver in Nigeria and you cause a fatality on a federal road, that is up to 7.
Pain Game's reaction highlights something deeper than physical injury. It reflects the emotional toll this crash has taken on Anthony Joshua. Surviving a horrific car accident that instantly killed two of his closest teammates, his strength coach, Sina Gami, and his trainer, Latif Lats Ayodele, could have easily ended Ajay's life too. Instead, he walked away with minor injuries, but emotional scars run deep. Anyone who's seen Joshua in the ring knows how tough he is, yet surviving an accident that claimed the lives of the people he trusted most brings a kind of pain that no amount of toughness can shield. His mind will replay that moment again and again, and the joy he once had for life and boxing will be forever altered. This isn't about bruises and bones. It's about grief, survivor's guilt, and the heavy burden of continuing on when your brothers didn't make it.
It's such a severe car accident there. Like, alright, he's lucky enough to still be alive, but fuck me, his body must be going through a lot right there. This is not a man who winces in pain easily, right? He gets punched for a living. And obviously, like, you're supposed to take people out of car accidents like that with great care because you don't want to...
Eddie Hearn's words capture the immense responsibility Anthony Joshua now carries beyond the ring. In the moments after the crash that killed two of his closest allies, Hearn stressed the importance of being there for the victims' families, something Aj has taken personally. More than a sport, this is a deeply personal loss. Sina Gami and Latif Lats Ayodele weren't just trainers, they were loyal companions who stood beside Aj through countless fights, sacrifices, and victories. Now Joshua owes more than tears. He has pledged support to those they left behind. That's the mark of a man who understands that life's real battles happen outside the ring, against grief and heartbreak. Aj isn't just focused on healing himself, he's focused on making sure these families feel seen, supported, and loved in their darkest hour. It's a gesture that goes far beyond boxing. It's about humanity, compassion, and loyalty.
Dealing with the inquiries and the media, and you can imagine how many people are trying to find out.
John Fury's message of gratitude and blessing to Aj reflects what millions around the world are feeling. Relief that Anthony Joshua survived, but heartbreak for the price he paid. While Fury's words may feel simple, they echo a profound human truth. Life can change in an instant. For a man accustomed to facing danger in the ring, surviving a violent collision that instantly took the lives of two beloved friends is a reminder that no amount of physical conditioning protects against emotional pain. The boxing world saw the tough exterior, but behind it stands a man who just looked into the faces of sorrow and loss. Surviving something that killed your teammates forever alters your perspective, and Fury's blessing isn't just about survival. It's about waking up with a heart heavy with grief, guilt, and gratitude all at once. For Aj, every breath now carries the weight of what was lost and what must still be honored.
AJ, you're one lucky lad. God bless you, my lad. Glad you're alive again. Shocked me, it has. Terrible. Anyway, good luck everybody, and try and enjoy the new year as much as you can and be safe, yeah.
Gareth A. Davis's commentary, though about fight plans, inadvertently highlights how trivial boxing talk feels next to real tragedy. Before this crash, discussions about Aj's next fight or his strategic choices were the biggest talking points. But when a sudden accident takes the lives of two people so close, all that sports chatter seems distant and insignificant. Joshua's life was changed in an instant. Not in a boxing ring, but on a highway in Nigeria, where he lost two men who were like family. You don't prepare for grief. You don't strategize for heartbreak. What was once speculation over fights now pales against the reality of emotional recovery. Aj's priorities have shifted from who he will fight next to how he navigates life after loss, how he keeps his mental health intact, and how he honors the memories of Lats and Sina. This moment has redefined what the boxing world cares about: healing, not hype.
Okay. So Anthony Joshua appeared on chat shows, crossed over as a celebrity, a fighter, without being a celebrity.
Tyson Fury's emotional response to the aftermath of Aj's accident went far beyond typical boxing talk. In a moment when rivals were quick to throw blame, Fury stepped up with a reminder of something bigger than sport: our shared humanity. After Anthony Joshua survived a horrifying crash in Nigeria that left two of his closest team members dead and Aj hospitalized, Fury called for compassion, saying people aren't enemies but brothers and sisters under God, urging everyone to spread love, not hate. That message resonates deeply when fans and fighters alike see the pain etched on AJ's face and hear the silence where laughter once lived. Fury's words weren't about rivalry or rematches. They were about unity, empathy, and recognizing that loss affects us all on a human level.